Though it is true that every normal human being is able to use language, it is misleading to compare this with his ability to eat, sleep, or walk. All of these abilities are passed on to us by genetic transmission. We receive them by way of the genes that we inherit from our parents. In the case of language, however, it is only the ability to talk and understand that we inherit genetically. The particular language or languages that we speak are passed on to us not by genetic transmission but by cultural transmission. That is to say, a language is something that we learn and are taught, not something that we know by instinct. When we say that a language is culturally transmitted, that it is learned and not inherited, we mean that it is part of that whole complex of learned and shared behavior that anthropologists call culture. This might lead us to believe that a simple culture would make use of a simple language, that a complex culture would make use of a complex language, and so on. In fact, this does not seem to be true at all, except in a very trivial sense. There are so-called primitive cultures in the jungles of the Amazon and on the island of New Guinea, and there are so-called advanced cultures in Europe, Asia, and Africa, but the languages of these cultures are all equally advanced and complex. The trivial sense in which some languages are simpler than others concerns only matters of vocabulary. It is obvious that a language whose speakers talk about philosophy and science will contain more words than a language whose speakers are engaged primarily in hunting and fishing. With this one exception, it is quite wrong to suppose that simple culture will also have a simple language. The grammar and sound system of such a language may turn out to be more complex than that of many an advanced culture, and even its vocabulary will run to many thousands of words and may include subtle distinctions which strike outsiders as very complex indeed.